Hey, hey, hey. I'm Dr. C. Victor Herman III, and I'm taking it to the house.
And I'm Dr. Timothy Hoover, and I'm taking it to the house. It's been a couple of weeks. We missed y'all last week. Since we were on last time, we've had a Super Bowl, we've had an All-Star game. The Dodgers are reloading. That's not even part of our rundown. LA is clearly on the map. Oh, we did talk about Luca, so LA is relevant. Where do you want to start, brother? Let's talk about the NFL. Let's talk about the Super Bowl. Let's recap that.
Sounds like a plan, brother. So, as you stated, so much has happened since the Super Bowl. And lead into Super Bowl, we talked about how the NBA had stole the show. Before kickoff, NBA was the hottest thing in town. And unfortunately, I'm here to tell you the best thing about the Super Bowl was the halftime show and then being able to talk about NBA afterwards. Bruh, I'm a little bit disappointed. Now, I love defense, but for me, the Super Bowl is two things in one, like a ding dong. I got the outer side and I got the cream fill in the middle. It's two things in one. One, it's supposed to be the greatest spectacle known to man as a sporting event. Two, it's the last football game of the season. So it's mixed emotions, excitement and then sad. Bruh, I was frustrated was one of my emotions, and then pissed off. Like I'm waiting all this pregame hype. You got to go through all the pregame stuff all day in the morning. Even before they kick off, you got three different national anthems. Then you finally start the game. You're like, what the am I watching? There's never been a time in the 40 plus years I've been watching Super Bowls that I ever actually wanted to turn the station man. I mean, great domination. Again, not gonna take away from the Eagles what they did because manhandled and
Right.
but I expected a better showing for
Yeah.
that game for the self-proclaimed heir apparent GOAT. Man, so from that part, it was not an entertaining game as a
Yeah.
game. It wasn't entertaining. What are your thoughts so far on that?
So you were a little disappointed. I was a lot of disappointed. You're 40 plus years. I'm gonna trump you by 63. I've seen them all. I've seen the Super Bowls since their infancy. I can't remember them all. What I can remember is this last one. This last one was bull crap. And I want to cuss, but FCC might pull my producer's license, and I can't afford to have him lose this because we love it. We're passionate about it. But you're right. It wasn't about the hype that was being produced, commercialized, that side. It wasn't, to me, it wasn't about that. It was about legacy. It was about expectations, not the hype that, oh, I'm going to watch these and this person talk about it and this talking head talk about it when I can listen to you because you're just as good as they are in predicting or not predicting, making the mark or missing the mark. We were on it. We called it. We said we thought the Chiefs, we were pulling for the Chiefs, but we also said the Eagles can win. We said that the Eagles can win, and we said why? For all the skilled players that they have on the side. So we spoke that up. We were looking for, based on our predictions, our expectations, we were expecting a better game. Well, the Eagles showed up, and the Eagles showed out. So no, we can't disparage the Super Bowl because of what the Eagles did. The Eagles came, they brought it, that East Coast mentality, and they didn't care the name on the front or the back of the opposition. They didn't. Matter of fact, I think they were a little angry about a couple of years ago. I think revenge had a factor, and because so many people were picking the Chiefs as though the Eagles were just an also ran team. No, Eagles came. Yes, I was disappointed in the Chiefs and the totality of the game itself, but the Eagles did what they were supposed to do, and they didn't care. There was no what is it, the skunk rule. There was no mercy rule. There was no. And you know what? They would be scoring right now if the game was still being played. They would keep scoring. But my analysis is again, it's going to be simple. The better coach coached. Andy Reid got out coached. The better quarterbacked. Patrick Mahomes got out quarterback out played. And then the skilled players, receivers, running back, everybody needed to do what they needed to do. Saquon Barkley, did, they were so, the Chiefs are so focused on Saquon, that Hurts, all he had to do was just find the open receiver, and they were open, and or he could tuck and run. Simple analysis. The better team won. The better team was more physical, and the better coached team, prepared for the moment, was ready to go. Damn the Chiefs, go Eagles.
Yeah, I agree with you. The amazing thing about it, the Eagles played like this was Super Bowl. They played with the literal chip on their shoulder. And if I'm sorry, if I'm the Eagles, I'm saying, damn, they're on the verge of three-peat. We're the ones that helped them start this three-peat, a game they should have won 2 years ago. So I can only imagine the taste of blood in their mouth, won their own blood from 2 years ago. And the first hit they had in this game, the enemy's blood, like, oh yeah, we here for 60 minutes. I hope you brought your lunch pail and your lunch and your hard hat because we about to do this all day long. Three
All
P?
day.
No,
Yeah.
no, we're not the one. And what looking at the game itself from the Eagles' perspective, you know all about that defense. I'm an AFC North guy. I love that. Bruh, the front four, the
Oh,
front four of the Eagles,
yes.
not one blitz. They put Patrick Mahomes in the spin cycle. They put him in the dishwasher. I mean, anything, a merry-go-round, a OODA loop, whatever you want to call it that goes around and around in a circle, they put him in it. And oh my good, the tenacity, man. That had me fired up.
Yeah.
Oh, just watching that because
Yeah.
he's gonna have to come back to the AFC. You gotta, like they used to say back in the days, prison talk. Oh, you gotta go back to Gen Pop. You may have been the best dude up there in the AFC, but there's some NFC monsters that had something for you. Now that the code has been cracked on how to put pressure on him, it's gonna be some time before they reboot because now people know a good defense and that defensive line and what it can do to a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback. Man, this next year is going to be very difficult. The Super Bowl hangover with this loss is going to be significant for the Chiefs next year. Significant.
Well, you got to have the front four, and it's not just any front four. You got to have monsters. You got to have the Randalls and the old school. Uh, what's your boy? Oh man, I can't think of his name. But the no, if you have a nose guard who's going to be able to take on two, it was four. It was five blocking four, but that four was bad, and you didn't have to bring a blitz. Jerome Browns. You know what I'm talking about? That nose guard. They just nasty, man. They just nasty. So I'm glad you mentioned that because the D4, the defensive lineman for the Eagles, could easily have been the MVP as a collective. And it's not so. To answer your point, and the reason why I was bringing that up, it's not everybody can do and duplicate what they did. You know, and you see it in the NBA. People want to shoot the three. You're not Steph Curry. You're not Klay Thompson. You're not uh, 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 Damian Lillard. You're not that. You're not Trey Young. You're not that. So why are you pulling up? You got to have the skill set, mindset, and the philosophy that the Eagles have to be able to pull it off. So yeah, you may have the cheat code, and guess what? I may share the cheat code, but you still got to have those kind of players who are nasty, mean, and aggressive to come after them. What it did show too is how vulnerable the Chiefs' line is. You just can't plug and play at the line. Not no, and the game is won at the line. They shook your boy Mahomes. They shook him. I have never seen him like this. He looked like a rookie. He looked like he just came up into the league, and this is the first time facing that. And that's what a lot of talking heads, we need to talk about it. It's affecting his legacy because he was trying to chase down. We talked about him chasing down, getting that three-peat, chasing down your boy, who claims he's the GOAT. Uh, this tarnishes, yes, it's recency bias. This tarnishes that legacy. Brady is the GOAT based on performance alone. When you can show up, even though those losses that Brady had, he still showed up. And remember, he didn't have a great team all the time in England, but he showed up. And the difference that I saw is Patrick Mahomes didn't adjust, nor did Andy Reid adjust. Why are we passing the ball on every down? Why? Why are they being able to pin their ears back and rush you? You're not slowing them down. You can't even put a play fake on. Why? So are you that much shook? Are you that much rattled? Patrick Mahomes, and we talked about this, boy, with your quarterback up there in Baltimore. When you go to the line, you have a play called from your OC. Now it's up to you to see the front, see the backfield, call an audible, or make an adjustment, blocking assignments. And I don't think he did that. I saw him take 3 steps back and he's ready to run. That's what I saw. He had happy feet. So I started off talking about the front four. You were talking about the front four for the Eagles. They deserve a lot of credit. It made everything easier on the back seven. They pick off Mahomes. He has to get rid of the ball, or he's going to get sacked, or he's going to get a short gain after crossing the line of scrimmage. He was getting hit nonetheless. So kudos, salute to the Eagles, man. The better team, the better coach team, the better prepared team won the game. Nothing should be taken away from what the Eagles did.
Totally agree. Totally agree. From a sporting event, as two teams, the better team won. We talked about it again. Better roster versus better team. Well,
Oh,
we got to throw
oh,
away that piece.
oh, by the way, I turned it off. I
You
was so
did.
disappointed.
You
And
did. Okay.
I turned it off. I said, if I keep bumping my head, it's gonna hurt. I bumped my head enough. And I already wasted 2 hours, 2+ hours. It ain't gonna be 3. I'm done.
Wow. Wow. I stayed long enough so I could watch the commercials. That's how entertained of the commercials I was versus the game. There's some years the commercials sucked. This year's like, I'd rather watch the potential for a better commercial than the rest of this game. So, I could do a whole lot of stuff while the game was on, but I was not as invested with it anymore. It was like, man,
Yeah,
all right, whatever, man. Let's hurry up. This sucks. Let's start the new season. Let's go.
yeah. Let's talk about the NFL as a whole, just to wrap it up. That being the punctuation to the season, the Super Bowl. Uh, you have any takeaways from the season? Likes, dislikes? What do you take besides Justin Tucker taking some snatch or snatching some takes?
Justin Tucker will be named Bustin Hugger. I don't know, man. Bustin Tucker. But, like you said, I don't want to lose our FCC licenses. I will say this. It was a very overall successful season. But I do want to highlight the need and the importance of the running back. Going into the season, they didn't want to give the running backs the money. And I'm glad for this part, why I am happy for the Eagles is because I'm happy for Saquon. They
Yeah,
left Saquon out for dead. He had injuries when he played with that franchise called the New York Giants. They even had the offseason hard knocks, and they said, yeah, you know what? Hey, the Bears are bringing up the price. Philly's out. And so they ship him off in favor of Danny Dimes, who wound up becoming traded anyways. And then they talked about, the Derrick Henry as the aging running back. Oh, Josh Jacobs. And, the running back has lost its value. Man, oh, man, oh, man. I love to see,
yeah,
again, old school, keep football pure. Running backs are king, man. Yes,
yeah.
yes, 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 yes. The quarterback got it. But the running back, boy, that's a grown man play.
Yes,
When you
yes,
put a running back to run between them tackles, that
yes,
is physical. That is just blue collar. I look at passing part, that's prima donna. We're white collar. We're just going to be dainty. It's going to make the game go by. It could be slower. I want ground and pound. And for running backs this year, man, we're talking
yeah,
about 2,000 plus yards. We watched Derrick Henry set records for touchdowns. He had 1,900 plus. Easily could have had his 2,000. Bring back the role of the running back and legitimize it. I believe this year was a great statement between those two running backs that going into the season, we all wondered what's going on with the running back, and come out, I think they helped vindicate the role of running back. So that's the highlight I want to point out.
I love that. My takeaway, it was an entertaining season, lots of highs, lots of lows, some unpredictables, but the resurgence of the running back is a very good one. I appreciate you saying that. The only thing Saquon could have done to even make this a greater year was to get the individual rushing record. You only get that once, and he sat out the last game. Otherwise, he had a chance to get it. He got the total yards rushing when you include playoffs. That's cool. He got the Super Bowl. That's great. But to be the NFL rushing leader for ever until it's broken, that means a whole lot. That goes to the linemen, that goes to you and your work ethic, and that goes to the good Lord for just allowing you to stay healthy for the whole season. So that would be the only thing that would have been missing from his great season, Saquon season. Another takeaway, and I was talking about entertaining the Lions. The Lions were entertaining, but injuries caught up to them. But I can see them. I don't see them being bit or snake bit 2 seasons in a row. Watch out for the Lions because I believe they're going to come back just as nasty and angry. And when we are starting to crown Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, yes, it was one game, but it was one big game. And so even if you are to lose, it's not that they lost, it's just how they lost. And that's one of my biggest takeaways is I think he's the best coach right now. I think he was the best, I thought he was the best quarterback right now. And I'm wrong. I am wrong. One game, small sample size. Yes, yes, yes. Am I being too hard? Maybe, but I'm just a fan. When you cannot or do not show up with all of your ability in the biggest moment, then I have to question you and I have to question my judgment as well as you as a coach and you as a quarterback. That's I don't want to do that, but that's what you have done based on your performance. And so I'm going to be looking next year on what you two do. Are you guys going to come back angry? You're going to be mad? You're going to have Kelsey back? You're going to retool? You're going to reload? You're going to come out with a vengeance? How you going to play this? Because all season long, people say you got off. And then you got to a prison sentence. You got your prison sentence. You got locked up in the cell with Bubba Eagle, and he did a Shawshank Redemption on you. That's right. You got Shawshank the Chiefs, all of y'all, Shawshank, Andy Dufresne style. But great season overall. I think the NFL as an entertainment business and as a sport industry, they have nothing to hang their heads on and looking forward to the future. Last thing, I love seeing. I'm still old school. When black quarterbacks, you couldn't be successful. Black quarterbacks could not be. They could be quarterbacks. They were being converted to receivers, D cornerbacks or safeties. To see a black quarterback win, and he is cool about it. He is cool about it when people wanted to question him. I'm talking about Jalen Hurts wanted to question his ability. No, he's been to a Super Bowl, and then he went to another Super Bowl and won and showed out. So Jalen Hurts, thank you, man, and thank you for representing us as a race, as a people. Great, great on the field and off the field.
I love that. And then for my brother, there you go, Jalen Hurts. And just because of that, to close out that, yes, he was criticized so much this year. And then I love watching how he just went out there and he balled out. Okay, you guys,
Yes.
you want to take away Saquon as if I am just what Gus Farad up in here? Like, I mean, what Ryan Leaf? I mean, damn, the dude was a Heisman candidate. The dude won a national championship. I mean, God, dog. I mean, what do you want? So
Yeah.
that part right there pisses me off, and I'm glad he went ahead and silenced the critics because now I got one. Joe Burrow don't have one. Josh Allen ain't got one. Lamar Jackson ain't got one. I got one. NFC teams have got theirs. Tom Brady busted them up, And now Jalen Hurts saying, okay, now what? So I do like that part where he did get that because again, the people do your history, understand the value, how they criticize black quarterbacks not being smart enough, lacking the intelligence, not wanting them to lead white men. It's very powerful as we've seen over 40 years now. It's the resurgence and the cataclysmic exponential launch of that style of play that you
Yes.
are now a truly an offense can be that triple threat. You can pass, you can run, you can block. I mean, you can. It's great. So again, from that part, NFL has done well. I'm glad the times are continuing to grow and allow these phenomenal athletes. And then eventually we get to a point not having to say the black athlete, the black quarterback. This is an athlete, and being able
Right.
to really find the position you can have pocket passers, you can have mobile quarterbacks, just a quarterback. So again,
Right.
it's great to add that into the annals. So now that's three black quarterbacks in the history of NFL that have won Super Bowls: Doug Williams, Patrick Mahomes, and now Jalen Hurts.
Is that it? Seems like I'm missing one. Is that it?
You find them, let me know.
Daggone, dog. You got me scratching my head over here. Oh, you hit me with over the head with that one. Seems like, golly. Okay. Okay. That's a good one. That's good. Fun fact. Good. Thank you, sir.
No doubt.
Um, Transition now to the NBA before we wrap up. The All-Star game. I know we were talking in the green room a little bit about it. New format where it's two semifinal games and then there's a final game. Um, I was cool with that. So the genesis of the change instead of the traditional All-Star game East versus West is they were not competing anymore. So everything has been changed, modified, if you will, to try to get them to compete more. You got rising stars, you got the international squad, then you had Shaq had his call them the OGs, old guys, LeBron, KD, Curry. So I thought it was a fun idea. So you know me and the NBA. I'm loving the NBA. That's my sport. And I didn't go in looking for the competition. I'm just looking to have some fun. And so I was pleased. But if you're a serious basketball player and or if you're a traditionalist, that wasn't for you. That game was not for you. That game was clearly entertainment. I, for one, was entertained. However, I can see some of the comments and criticism because of the entertainment value. You think about the Super Bowl, the halftime is longer, so players have to ramp up. Well, in this, when you have three games, there's space in between. You don't keep a steady go. So if you have played the first game, won the first game, you're in the finals already. There's an hour maybe before you get a chance to lace up again for the finals. So that's a big problem because athletes are freaks of nature, if you will. They have a body clock, body rhythm. And so that is one thing that should and could be a problem or needs to be addressed. I get that. However, you had multiple all stars from young to old. I got it. I was entertained. And plus, the Bay Area, they did the doggone they did the doggone thing. The Bay Area had that flavor from the musicians and everything. So it was a good Bay Area flavor. So the Bay Area hosted well. They did very well, and I love it. My criticism is LeBron James voted to the All Star. He was a part of Shaq's OG, and he decided that it wasn't before minutes before tip off that he decided he wasn't going to play. How about saying that a little bit earlier? If you knew that, say it a little bit earlier because there are others that are waiting to hear the name and all start affiliated to their name that were snubbed, if you will, or weren't included. Could have easily gone to somebody else. So I don't know if LeBron was legitimately hurt. I don't know. And I'm not going to question that. It's just timing. That's what I'm questioning. And I didn't like his timing. Number two about LeBron, my other criticism of LeBron, you were selected, you should dress up. If you're going to sit on the bench, dress up. If you're going to be in photographs, dress up. He was in street clothes. He was not in a warm up outfit. And that bothers me because you also, not only do you represent LeBron, you don't just represent the NBA, you also represent the Lakers, who happens to be my team. And I'm embarrassed. And I'm like, one of the criticisms for the NBA is people, or the All Star game, is people didn't think that the stars took it serious. And then you come out looking like that. So, how is anybody going to take you serious if you don't act like it's serious, even if you are hurt? So, that was my criticism. LeBron, two negatives out of the whole thing. You showed up, but you didn't show up, and dressed in street clothes. And so, full participant, even if you're hurt, that's what I'm asking for. Act like you're serious about this.
I started thinking, which league has the best all-star? Is it the baseball? Because they're having a challenge in the NFL. Well, how do you make it people not taking it serious? It happens after the season, people not trying to get injured. And then you have the basketball in the middle of the season. What's the incentive? Do they continue raising the money, the value of the winner? They added the two different trophies. You had 3-point shooter. But with baseball, winners get home field advantage for whatever, for the World Series team. So how do you make All-Star Weekend competitive? To your point, I'm old school. I remember the 80s and 90s All-Star games. It seemed like that was incredible. It seemed like it's very competitive. I also remember the slam dunk contest used to mean something. Now, I don't even want to watch it. I'd rather watch the 3-point contest than the slam dunk contest now. Let's get away the gimmicks. Because are there any new dunks that can happen now? After 40 years of doing this, take away vehicles, take away jumping over people's heads, take over two basketballs, take away all that. What more can you do that Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilson, Spud Webb, Vince Carter, Dwight Howard, Nate Robinson has not done? So it may be time to put that out the pasture, because if you take away all that, what do you have? And so then let's go strictly NBA. I love how Caitlin Clark said, "Hey, I'm a WNBA player. I'd rather start competing in my own All Star." Then you take away the G League. You got a dude from the G League doing a dunk. Nah. What can the NBA All Stars and the superstars stand on their own for their own All Star weekend? And for the face of the franchise for the Los Angeles Lakers, the face of the NBA, the new GOAT, I'm saying air quotes because Michael Jordan is the GOAT. How do you not shoot up? And as
Right.
you say, there's a couple of players last week that could not play because of injury. And even though other players were snubbed, they had the opportunity to play. And they did petty batty. I know that Trey Young had a shirt on that said some things, but they had the opportunity to play. And LeBron knew that ahead of time. That's very unfair. Because now it goes down to, you just wanted to be considered 20-time All-Star, even though he didn't play in the game. That's kind of selfish. That's kind
Right.
of selfish. And if I was Adam Silver, understanding, I'd probably fine them. If they don't even do it in the public, maybe behind, hey, you can't do that.
Right.
I'm definitely not going to reward you by sitting on the bench. So
Right.
what's the penalty? Because again, now what's the precedent set? If we don't take the game seriously already, so you mean to tell me I can actually have people buy money from the entertainment value, buy tickets to watch my favorite player? He's the greatest of all time, and he sits on the bench.
Right. That's another problem.
That's
That's a problem all by itself.
that's
Yes.
misleading, man.
Right.
That's misleading to some families that came out to San Francisco for whatever, saying this may be the only chance to watch an All-Star game, and the main attraction doesn't show up.
Right.
That's bad business, bro. So I
I,
would be interested how they're going to work that in the years to come. How Adam can incentivize it, make it more entertaining, but
I
it's
say
a work in progress.
my solution is one of two things. Like KD said, eliminate it. Just don't have it. That's one solution. The other solution is call it what it is. It's fun. And guess what? These are $1 million investments just going to have fun. Don't look for competition. They're not going to want to get hurt because they're not going to be, their fame is not going to be what they did in the All Star game. They're not Skywalker who won a slam dunk contest or 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 anybody else who wins. That's not where they get their fame from. So eliminate it. I can see eliminating it, or just call it a convention. Just call it a fun time where we old basketball players, we gonna come out, we're gonna meet and greet, and we meet with our marketers, we meet with some of our business partners. Just call it what it is, and don't look for it. What I'm saying is repackage it. Tell the fans, tell everybody else. We're not gonna do that. We're looking for 360s. We're looking for alley oops from half court. We're gonna do what we don't normally do, but we're not going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lower the expectations down.
Yeah.
Just tell the
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah. You're coming to watch Harlem Globetrotters. That's all
Right.
you do.
Right. Come, I'm not going to jump very hard. I'm not going to D you up. And I'm not going to pull a groin. I'm not going to chase you down and block. It's none of that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't care if I get one rebound. I don't care if I get 3 rebounds. Matter of fact, guess what? You go play. I'm going to sit over here on the end of the bench.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I can see it being eliminated, and nobody except the business partners of the NBA losing money, and or that arena still made a whole bunch of money that whole weekend. That area made a whole bunch of money. So the social impact was great. It's just the television package leaves a little bit to be desired that need to be tweaked as it's presently constituted. So more tweaking to be had. And it doesn't help when Draymond Green, this is his game. He's telecasting on TNT, which is their last All-Star game. He's on TNT bashing the NBA. So if somebody that's a casual passerby listen to this maybe for the first time and he's talking about this is trash, what do you think? That doesn't help. Mm-hmm. It doesn't help grow the product, but he called it like he saw it. And I can't say he's wrong, but Adam Silver, if anybody needs to, if he needs to find anybody, he needs to find somebody who's on the mic in front of the worldwide streaming viewership and tell them you cannot do that because it's bad for business. He need to come up like Tony Soprano. Hey, Draymond, come on, let's have a talk. He needs to talk to Draymond like the Don would talk to Draymond. Let me make you an offer you cannot refuse. Okay, Godfather on him, Adam. But Adam's not like that. He's not like that. And guess what? I don't care how much we criticize. I don't care. They don't care. We just talked about the $1 billion TV contract. The money's going to keep coming in. They're going to get new viewers because kids are growing up. And I'm a fan. My daughter's a fan. Guess what? Her kids are going to be, they're going to be fans. And there's going to be some that are going to be turned off, but that's every sport. When's the last time you watched golf? Yeah. But when Tiger was hot, you watched it. And guess what? They ain't losing no money. They're not losing viewership. They went to live. They went to the PGA. They lost. What they lose, bruh? They didn't lose you. They didn't lose nothing. They don't, because the money is still coming in. The NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, hockey, built to last, and they're going to be here until you and I are gone and gone.
I concur. I think you're right on that one. Hey, fams, and hey, fans, our time is up. You know how we do. We just had look. I got me a cup of bourbon. Got his little sweet, his little drink, and we just doing what we do. But this is now entering the dark side of the sports season. We got the final 60 days of the basketball season. We got March Madness coming up, and then baseball starts, and then we have our dog days of summer. Fams, we love you all. We appreciate you all. And one fact check, because Unc called me out and he was right. There's another black quarterback I forgot to mention, Russell Wilson. Dangerous. So there goes your 4 black Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. And so I appreciate producing staff and all the fact checkers, but I got to make sure before we put out anything that is that one. So we have 4 black Super Bowl winning quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. Jalen Hurts being number 4. So again, and then Russell Wilson being number two, Patrick Mahomes being number three, and then Jalen Hurts hitting at number four. But on that
Doug Williams.
note,
Yes.
hit us up on the X, hit us up on Facebook, hit us up on all our venues. We appreciate you all. We'll see you all next week. I'm Dr. Vic. I'm taking the house. I'm out.
What my partner was just talking about is we're going to make mistakes on here, but that's okay. Because in our experience, we're just having fun. We try to be as accurate as we possibly can. We try to be as truthful to our core as we possibly can. And we know we're going to make mistakes. And so don't shoot us. Let us know. If we're making a mistake, let us know. Our producer is very good in letting us know. I want to hear from you. Tell us about your team. Tell us about what you think. Tell us about, criticize us. Let us know where we're wrong. We want to hear from you. There's plenty of opportunities. And then on ESPN and Fox Sports, guess what? They are passionate. They are passionate about their sports and their analytics, but they're going to make mistakes as well. Are we any worse? No, we're just as good. And you're tuning in anyway. So we'll see y'all next week. And we're out.
Holla.
Yeah. That fourth quarterback, that fourth
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. He's a middle child. So we miss him in there. Forget all about the Legion of Boom. So